Hey guys, what is up? It's GTA 5 Master here, back with another video. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys the best attachments for the Peacekeeper. Guys, I just picked random attachments. So I'm going to be showing you guys a video. If you guys like that video, go sub to him. I'm not doing a shout out to him, but go sub to him. It's, I think, the best. It's for guys. It's a couple minutes long, but just stick around, watch it, see how good it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll be playing the music, and I'll be playing the show. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Hello everyone and welcome, my name's Ali A, and today I've got another Best Classes episode for you guys. We're going to be focusing on the brand new submachine gun added in with the first Black Ops 2 map pack, Revolution, and that is the Peacekeeper. Now the reason I haven't done this video earlier is because I was actually testing out lots of different attachments, trying to find the best setup that I found for multiplayer. Now the actual setup and the image I'm going to show you of a setup varies slightly from the gameplay in the background here, just because the gameplay in the background was me testing out different attachments, and it's basically a good gameplay, and I'll explain why I've got changes and why I've chosen all of the choices for this class in a second. But first of all, I want to explain that this is just my preference. I'm going to explain which situations it fits best within multiplayer, but of course you guys can tweak it a little bit, perhaps change a perk or an attachment here or there just to suit the game mode or your preference, but this is what I find to be the overall best class for the Peacekeeper. So first of all, the actual gun itself, the Peacekeeper, is very, very interesting. Now, I've talked about it a lot in my multiplayer videos covering the new maps, but essentially the Peacekeeper is a submachine gun because it has good hipfire spread, because it has good mobility like a submachine gun, so you can move around quickly while holding the gun, but its damage is very similar to an assault rifle. It's not actually that great close up. It kills quite slowly, and at long distance it's also very bad. So its best sort of time to kill and its best situation to be in a gunfight is medium range, and this leads on to my actual attachments for the gun, and I've gone with quick draw and fast mags. Quick draw is to help you in those close range gunfights, because if you don't have something like quick draw and you get into a gunfight and you're taking longer to zoom in than the other player, you're probably going to lose the gunfight just because it's not quite as strong as the MSMC or the PDW, and having quick draw means you can get accurately onto the enemy's body and start shooting the enemy a little bit quicker, and it can just help you with those close range gunfights. Now fast mags can also be switched out for extended mags. They're both very similar. Extended mags of course allows you to shoot your whole mag for a longer time period. You've got more ammo within there. It gives you a bit more ammo as well, but fast mags I found suits this Peacekeeper better because it speeds up the reloading time, and it means you can not have to worry about reloading, and because I like to use it as a sort of aggressive objection-based class, if I'm on the flag and I shoot a clip and I find myself reloading very slowly on the flag, someone can come along and shoot me off it very, very easily, and I want to be able to reload quickly. That's why I've got fast mags on there, and I want to be able to zoom in quickly. That's why I have quick draw. Now some of you guys may really like the suppressor, and the reason I don't use the suppressor is because it cuts down its range, and the whole point of this gun is that it's good at medium range, and if you use the silencer it then sort of loses that advantage and it becomes a gun that's good at nothing. That's why I don't personally like to use the silencer. But moving away from the attachments now, we're going to move on to perk 1. I have 2. I have hardline to help me get those score streaks a little bit earlier. As you can see here, I get stunned. And I'm going to explain why I've got my perk 3 choice in a second, and you know, all the stunning and concussion grenades and all that good stuff, why I have switched my third perk from this gameplay, which was dexterity, to actually using tac mask. So I'll jump onto that in a second, but first of all, perk 1 I've got hardline and flat jacket, and as I said before, this is sort of an aggressive objection based class, and if you're on a flag and grenades and semtexes, C4s being thrown at you, you ought to be able to survive them, so flat jacket is really, really useful in that sense. tournaments, and I've been going for high score streaks quite a lot. And at any sort of score streaks, it will knock 20% off the score you need to get it. So hardline's just super useful. I use it on pretty much all my classes just because I love going for those score streaks. Now for perk 2, I've got toughness. I use this on all of my classes. You guys will probably notice by now if you've seen all of my best classes episodes. So toughness just helps with the kick when you're actually being shot at, helps you win those gunfights. And again, at medium range, if you're staying on target, you're not getting quite as much kick when you're being in the gunfight. It's going to help you win the gunfights as well, so that's really useful. And the reason I haven't got Scavenger on is because so many people are using the Peacekeeper at the moment. If you're using the gun yourself and you walk over a Peacekeeper that's on the floor, all of that ammo is going to be added to your gun. So essentially, it's like having a Scavenger pack on the floor anyway. So that's why I haven't got Scavenger. And finally, the third perk for the perk selection, as I talked about earlier when I got stunned there, I was using Dexterity, but I found it wasn't really helping me a lot. Dexterity, of course, allows you to climb things faster, which is useful in some cases, but you're not always climbing things. It allows you to shoot a little bit quicker from the hip, from a running motion to a shooting motion, but again, you don't want to be in close quarter gunfights all the time with this gun. So I have switched out for Tac Mask, and it really helps if you're on flags again, you know, objective based stuff. It means that if you get hit by concussions or EMPs, the effect is cut down massively. I think it's cut down by maybe like 80 or 90%. So EMPs basically don't even affect you anymore. Concussions and flashes are very poor once you've got Tac Mask on. So those are my perks and my attachments. I've also got C4 and an EMP grenade. The EMP grenades I'm using at the moment instead of concussion because it has a massive radius in terms of actually getting a hit on the enemy, and even if it's through a wall it can hit an enemy. So it's a good way of just throwing it into a room, especially again objective based. If you're going for something which is in a room, if you throw an EMP in there, it's going to tell you if there's anyone in the vicinity. It's a really good way of checking out the area, making sure things are clear. And C4 I love just because it's really good if someone's behind a corner in another room or something. You're just able to throw the C4 into that room, detonate it nice and quickly, and you can get some easy kills. Now in terms of my score streaks in this video, I was going for the swarms and all the maps. I had already got a Mirage gameplay with the swarm, but I had actually kept the swarm on, so I had the VSAT, Lodestar, and Swarm. Of course, you guys don't need to use that. It's just my preference. The score streak should always be switched up depending on how well you're playing, depending on what map and mode you're playing. So that is, of course, optional to you guys. Now, it'd be interesting to know from you guys what you're using at the moment. Also, what I always recommend is just giving this setup a go and seeing how well you do after, say, 3 to 5 games. You've got to get into it and you know, actually get used to the class, but I think you'll find you'll really enjoy it if you do use this setup. If you're used to using the silencer, I think you'll find that the additional time, or it'll take less time to kill at medium to long range without the silencer. I think you'll find that really useful. I think the silencer honestly isn't necessary. You've got fast mags, so you shouldn't be caught off guard when you're reloading or anything, but if you're used to being quite defensive and staying in one area, then I guess not having a silencer could hinder you a little bit. But honestly, this is my favourite class setup. Spent a while putting it together for you guys, and I definitely think it works really well with this Peacekeeper submachine gun. If you've got any more questions or anything like that, put them in the comment section. I'll try and answer them. But the final score was 54-3. I'm really enjoying all the new maps and of course the Peacekeeper. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. If you haven't seen any of my other best classes episodes, check them out on my channel. Make sure you're subscribed, ready to see all my future videos, and if you've enjoyed this one, hit that like button. I really appreciate it when you guys do that. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on one of my future videos.